This debt-based society on planet Earth. Notice I said planet Earth, not U.S. or Canada at this time. This is UK this time. But notice it doesn't matter where. UK, Australia, Canada, US, anywhere and everywhere. We got a debt problem. The whole society is a debt-based society, and for it to continue functioning in the way it always has, and everything that's been built up around us to continue functioning, we need more debt. More debt. More debt. What happens when people can't pay for all the debt they're in? Well, no one really wants to talk about that. That's when you have a fire sale on every asset class on the face of the earth, except for some. You may not have a fire sale on gold and silver or certain other assets. But anything that has debt attached to it, like housing, cars, you name it, everything, there'll be some fire sales when these debt bubbles burst. And they don't always burst together. Sometimes they're individually. Auto loan bubble that burst, housing bubble. But usually when one of these big ones goes, they do kind of affect the other ones. We got a problem here these days where every bubble is at or about to burst. Like at bursting point or fixing to. Housing, car loans, student loan debt, credit cards, you name it. The bubble is about to burst. UK household debt worse than at any time on record. Article from Zero Hedge. I only thought us Americans live beyond our means. I thought that was, we got the American dream. And the rest of the world pays for it. The numbers used to always show we use 25% of the world's resources in America. So, in order to keep that American lifestyle, sorry about y'all's luck, we got to, Oh, no. Apparently not. Brits are living beyond their means like never before. In 2017, each household spent or invested about £900, or $1,187, more than they received on average. 25 billion pounds in total. According to an ONS article published this week, Britons were previously net borrowers in 1988, the height of a credit-fueled economic boom, generated by then-Chancellor of the Exchequer Nigel Lawson. But even then, the shortfall was just £300 million. To fund the deficit, people have been borrowing more and saving less, encouraged by years of record low interest rates. According to ONS figures, the poorest 10% of households spend 2.5 times their disposable income on average in the financial year ending in 2017, while the richest 10% spend less than half of their available income during the same period. As The Guardian reports, Step Change, which provides advice for indebted households, said the poorest were in constant need of credit to keep their heads above water. The charity's chief executive, Phil Andrew, criticized the ONS for saying that households were living beyond their means, which he said implied they could cut back if they wanted to. I don't agree with that. I'm not going to sit here and say using that term means, well, you could cut back if you want. No, that doesn't mean that. We're living above our means, not because we necessarily want to. Some do, yeah, some do. But we live above our means because I got to have a car to go to work. May not be as nice of a car as you have, but I got one, and I got to get it on credit. I'm not talking about me personally. I've used cryptos to pay off almost all my debt, but again, generally speaking, everybody, we don't choose to just get, I could pay that off now. Let me just go ahead and get it, make interest payments. Now, if you get a 1% interest rate, well, the hell with that. You might as well make payments at that point. But anyways, it's really unfortunate that this very useful data is so heavily sprinkled with the phrase that households are living beyond their means. The reality is that too many households here in Britain in 2018 simply can't make ends meet, however hard they try. He also added, not having enough money to make ends meet is not the same thing as living beyond your means, which implies you have a choice, when too many people do not have a choice. But I get the point. I see what point he's making. ONS figures Wednesday showed real disposable incomes grew at the slowest pace in 5 years. In the 12 months through March, after the Brexit referendum slammed the pound and drove up inflation. And it could be about to get considerably worse. Quote, if any more evidence were needed that the Bank of England has left it too late to raise interest rates, this is pretty compelling, former Bank of England policymaker Andrew Sentance, who is now a senior economic advisor at PwC. And he tweeted, UK households are on a massive borrowing spree. Interesting. Again, at the end of the day, this is a debt-based society. For it to continue the way it has, we must continue getting ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper into debt. Except, a funny thing happens when you hit a brick wall that says you can't get any more credit. You're tapped out, and your paycheck is not looking any much better than it has over the last few years. Maybe minimally increased, while everything else around you has drastically increased. And again, I'll say it again, cryptos, let's do this, baby. Come on. Housing and the debt bubbles, whatever, leads to this. And for once, the little guy who was smart enough to get into cryptos, in my opinion, will be able to do what the elite have done and have always done forever. Wait for the bloodbath, so to speak, to occur in the financials of asset values, everything, and then go in and buy everything up on the cheap side. And then live off of that residual incomes and whatever else they were doing. Purchasing up. And speaking of that, my buddy Bill's was sending me some sick properties, massive acreage, millions and millions of dollars per property. I'm like, Bill, when you get back from into the solar system and then back to planet Earth, then come talk to me. He's like, dude, cryptos are gonna make this happen. I'm like, I hear you. But I'm like, you're showing me a $30 million property. Dude, you nor I are going to be able to ever buy that. Not happening. But, the thought was there. He's like, yeah, but hey, real estate down, crypto's up. You never know. I'm like, yeah. So I was looking at some other property myself. And I don't know if it started just because he sent me that. And I thought, oh yeah, I did. Because I never heard of the site. He showed me, and then I said, oh, well, check this site out, whatever. And I found a pretty damn awesome property. Oh, God, it was freaking... And it was not that expensive, actually. Even in, right now, top of the market values, it was not that bad. But it was a little piece of, heaven, if you will. Had many of the things that I wanted to do to a property already done. Like a whole big checklist of stuff would have been, all that's checked off. Wow, what else do I need to do? And it just got the old gears turning, cryptos, come on, cryptos, some thoughts coming into my head. But I sent myself an email with that link so I can kind of track it, possibly over the coming months and year. Who knows? Like my mom said, within 2 years, you're going to be moving. This particular one is not in the state of Florida, and I'm not even kind of considering right now, even thinking, not even kind of thinking about, let's go. Nope. We need cryptos to do way better than where they're at right now. That sort of thing, the story. But, speaking of housing and stuff, we can do this and not get into debt. That's the key, everybody. That is the freaking key. Make your dreams come true. Laverne and Shirley style. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Laverne and Shirley. My mom used to watch the hell out of that show. It's the only reason I know the damn theme song. Couldn't tell you about a single episode. Oh, you remember that one time? No, I don't. No, I did. Never watched it. But I remember that damn theme song coming on when it would start. So, anyways, sometimes it makes sense to get into debt. Oh, so low duper, interest rate. Why use my money? I'll use the bank's money. But at the same time, if you make that move, you should be in a position to where if something bad happens in your life and you need to pay that debt off, you're able to do that. So there's a little difference. Well, I don't have the money to do it, so I'll get a loan anyways. Well, again, that's how we live today. We don't, when we're born and we turn 18 and an adult, do I get like $50K, anything to start me off in the great, world? No. You get nothing. You start with nothing. Go get a job. All right, my first job, McDonald's. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, you'll really make ends meet on that, on that. It's a good starter job. Again, teach you a little, some work ethic and things, yeah, useful. But let's face it, you're not going to be moving up the chain of, society working at McDonald's or any other fast food joint. But you got to get in a position, and it's extremely hard because we're all so debt-laden, but to get in a position to where we don't have to rely on these damn banks and credit cards and all that stuff that we do. And the problem is, well, we all have our jobs. They pay a certain amount. Therefore, we live a certain lifestyle. And it's usually 9 times, probably 10 times out of 10, the maximum lifestyle you can live based off of the current income. And if you get a raise, your lifestyle might change a little bit, and you'll gladly do that because you'll be like, man, I never go on vacation. I never used to do that. Damn it, I'm going to, we would never go out to eat a dinner. Now we got a little extra money, honey. Let's go every Friday night out to dinner. Now your extra income's gone. You're at least living a little, though, right? You're living a little. I got to do something I never did before, or barely ever. So I get it, but this is the system we're in. And you don't just get to fold and say, oh, I'm done playing game. I'm done playing the card game, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. No, this is life. You have to live this every day. So again, if cryptos can help us get out of that system, it is so worth the chance. Even if I lost everything at this point, I've taken profits and I've bought some things, as you know, got myself out of debt, paid this stuff off, whatever. But even if I didn't, and I was just like banking on these cryptos, I'd still be with the same mindset of it was worth the chance. It was absolutely potentially get myself out of debt and the freaking being a debt slave. Yeah, I'll throw some mud on that wall and see if it sticks. You're damn right. Which is why, again, I don't care if it fails. I mean, I would care obviously, but because I want it to succeed. I want everyone to succeed with me. But I'm just saying, I don't care if it failed because we gave it one hell of a shot. And if it was never there to begin with, cryptos, what would we have? Well, nothing. And we would have saved a little bit of money dumping it into that, of course. But for the potential prize, so to speak, it was worth it for me. I'm sure it's worth it for many of you. So with that, again, these bubbles these things are ready to pop. I just don't see how these things can keep going, because the government isn't giving us money. They're going to prop it up, Federal Reserve, we'll buy those assets off the banks, but you're not helping us. You're not helping the people pay the bill. Government, Federal Reserve, they're doing nothing. So this stuff has to get dealt with. I'm telling you, prices must come down. It's been 10 years. Hey, 10 years, boom and bust cycle. It's been another 10 years. Hey, any day now, you know what I mean? No, it should hit, because people can't pay the bills. So this little property I'm looking at, some other ones, whatever happens for some of you guys. Again, crypto's up, property's down. It was going to happen anyways. Not like we're taking advantage of anybody. But we will take advantage of the scenario that we've all been dealt, but we were smart enough to see it coming way in advance and get ourselves into cryptos way in advance, so that when the party ends, so to speak, hey, it doesn't end for us. We're going to go shopping, right? Everyone we tried to wake up and tell them they're not interested, oh, no problem. Joe, stop talking about that on Facebook. Why don't you talk about something positive? Oh, okay, yeah. How about I get the F off of Facebook and never return? That's what I did. Went over to YouTube. That's where I've been ever since. Take care.